let me tell you about our presenters. Sandy Johnson, who won't be presenting today, she's because of her jury duty obligations. Let me tell you about her, though, because she helped design this session today. Sandy works for distance education and the online course improvement program at New Mexico State University. And as a lead instructional consultant, she works with New Mexico school districts statewide and with faculty and staff at New Mexico State University, providing and supporting professional development for the integration of learning technologies and online teaching and learning. Sandy holds a bachelor's in science and secondary education and a master's in educational technology. She's a media specialist, technology coordinator, and holds an administrative leadership license for the state of New Mexico. Winona Notima is an instructional consultant at New Mexico State University. She provides Canvas and SoftChalk training for faculty and staff and is part of the team that mentors faculty in the Online Course Improvement Program, OCIP. OCIP is a one-year fellowship for faculty teaching online and includes a course review process that applies the Quality Matters rubric. Winona loves learning new technologies and sharing that information with others. And finally, Tim Strasser. Tim graduated from New Mexico State University with a bachelor's in journalism and a master's in educational management and development. Since he has worked in student affairs and enrollment management as a program coordinator for the Office of Student Diversity, and currently Tim works at New Mexico State as an instructional consultant for the Instructional Innovation and Quality section of the Scholarly Learning Department, where part of their many responsibilities is a board of Canvas for the university, which includes almost 4,000 active courses, 1,500 instructors, and almost 25,000 students. So having said that, I'm going to turn this over to Winona, but as I turn it over to her, there's one more poll that I am going to, as she sets up her desktop, let me ask this about your learning management system. I presume most organizations today have learning management systems, and many of you will be using Canvas, and some will, of course, not. There's a whole variety of learning management systems out there. But a recent data analysis I read indicated the majority of universities and colleges are actually considering moving from their current LMS. So I was curious what your organization's like. And so far, a little over half of you have responded, and I'm going to move quickly off of this. More people are responding, so I'll give you another few seconds. Apparently, there's only one person, it appears, that does not use, whose organization does not use a learning management system. So I'm going to close the poll, and I'm going to share it. So you can see that a third of our attendees are using Canvas, and over half of them are using some others, and about a quarter of you are looking at changing LMSs. Interesting data. Now, Winona, it's all yours. I see your screen, but I do not hear your voice, Winona.
Thank you for that introduction. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, great. So I just wanted to, again, open with a welcoming slide, but I know that we have a lot to cover, so we're just going to move right through. And what we wanted to share with you is that there actually are 66 wireless zones here on our campus, and later we can share a URL with you where you can actually see the campus at large. However, here, what I've basically pictured is our building here in Milton Hall in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And so it's widely referred to as Aggie Air, which is our mascot, the Aggie. And so they're provided in various locations around campus that include administrative, academic, residential, and even our Pan American Center, which is a 13,000 6-seat multi-purpose arena. So you can see that our campus is very dedicated to having a wireless campus. And they're always being consistently added and updated on campus. That's here for the Las Cruces campus. And any affiliated student, staff, or faculty may connect to our wireless zones after registering their devices with using their credentials. Also, university guests can request temporary access if they have a sponsorship through, obviously, NMSU business. So that would mean administrative or faculty. So. And all of our other campuses, we have some campuses around the state, including Grants, Carlsbad, Alamogordo, and the Albuquerque area. They also have been pushing a wireless campaign as well. And like I said, I can share a few of those URLs at the end of the presentation if you want to go and see what it actually looks like on the wider scale. And actually, Tim is going to talk to you about how and why NMSU chose Canvas.
Okay, thank you, Winona, and good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Tim Strasser, and I'm sure you guys heard the bio that Steve just gave of me. Some of the reasons why Canvas is at NMSU right now is after we went through a really lengthy evaluation process with the Faculty Senate, people from many, many different departments, and we chose Canvas because they received the highest evaluation marks from faculty and students, and it met our evaluation criteria better than any of the other available options. So we implemented Canvas at the start of the summer of 2012. So our first session going through was the summer session, which was a good, easy transition into using Canvas to get us ready for the fall semester. And 25,000 students and 1,500 courses. So it was a pretty big task, and it was actually pretty smooth. Some of the benefits of why we chose Canvas was significantly faster tools for grading, notification options and for faculty and students using Facebook, Twitter, SMS, and more. So it's very social media friendly, very easy for students to use. It works on any modern browser, including mobile browsers and apps. It has easy-to-use YouTube tool, similar tools like for posting videos, and they're available for faculty and students. And again, it's easy to use. And then finally, it's clean and intuitive user interface featuring drag and drop capability throughout the entire LMS, which has gotten very high marks from our students and faculty. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Winona to talk about SoftChalk Cloud.
Thanks, Tim. All right, so as mentioned in the introduction of this presentation, we wanted to really emphasize or share with you all about the ease of using both products, both Canvas and SoftChalk. And really what I say in my trainings for faculty who are being introduced to SoftChalk Cloud is that what this really lends to is that instructors, faculties or teachers, whatever you brand them, can focus on the content, whatever your course content is, that you're really the subject matter expert, and so you can focus on that. And then by designing that, SoftChalk delivers this beautiful polished learning lesson, and that easily transfers into Canvas. So, and from the polls, I can see that many of you are very familiar with both products. So, you know, just to kind of reiterate that, and that's really what the faculty that are newly introduced to this really like. And so, I just wanted to reiterate that here in this slide. So, you know, just the ease and also the flexibility. All right. On this slide, we're just continuing the power of SoftChalk Cloud. And what I really wanted to highlight here, many of you may have already seen this through the emails that was sent out by SoftChalk. And the recent email was in regards to the 2013 SoftChalk Lesson Challenge, where there was people who submitted their lessons, and they really were able to get the best out of this software, and they were highlighted as an ideal or example lesson. And so again, we can share that URL with you if you haven't seen these lessons already. But through the examples given, you can see, again, just the transformation of learning, bringing in that content and making it very interactive with all of the things that SoftChalk Cloud can do with media, video, audio, images, and all of the self-checks, I guess is what I would call them, but in their terminology, it's like the quiz poppers, text poppers, all of those activities that you can embed within a lesson. And so what else is available is also access to those repositories for videos and images. So again, it has all of the tools available within this software that you can really make your lessons robust. And we do actually see that here at our university when faculty get introduced to SoftChalk and then bringing it over into their Canvas course. And then I just want to point out the last bullet, the anytime, anywhere access from a web browser to create and modify content. We actually had a faculty member who just recently started working for our institution, and he actually works for, I think, 4 other institutions, and they all have different learning management systems. So he was really excited to learn about SoftChalk Clouds, where he can basically, build his lesson in this software and then have it synchronously update into his various courses at the various institutions that he teaches at. So he was very excited about that, and you all may have had that experience as well with your faculty. Okay, and just moving on, we wanted to just let you know again, it integrates with many of the learning management systems that are available. Also, I think there was one person who polled that does not use an LMS, and that's completely fine. You can actually just go ahead and use SoftChalk without having to import into an LMS. So again, you have a lot of options with the software. And again, just to reiterate, the simultaneously updating using the cloud version. So that is really nice if you are on various courses or various learning management systems. So, and then being able to share and track your scores, which we'll be showing and demonstrating in a few minutes. And at this point, we're actually going to switch over to a desktop share, and actually Tim is going to demonstrate how to bring in a specific Canvas, or rather a SoftChalk lesson into our Canvas LMS. So Steve, if you could go ahead and have Tim project his desktop where he can show this in action or practice.
Okay, I've moved the presenter from Winona to Tim. Tim, you should see on your desktop a question asking to share your desktop.
Okay, and it looks like it is up and running. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so what I'm going to show here is after I have a SoftChalk lesson built within SoftChalk, I'm going to show how to integrate through LTI into my Canvas course, and it's actually a pretty simple process. First thing that I would do is I would go into my content. This is SoftChalk right here. Come down to my lessons and courses. I have one that's already been built. So I'm going to click on Chapter 1 Assignment. Okay, and once it loads, you'll see my lesson here. Okay, so here's my lesson that I spent time building and editing. What I would come down here and I would look for LTI hyperlink. You wouldn't want to go on this one. You would come here to LTI hyperlink. You would copy and paste the whole thing. So I'm going to come down here and select all, copy. And I'm going to come over here to my Canvas course, which is my development OSIP course, to integrate that LTI link into an assignment. So next thing I do is click on an assignment. Here's all my assignments. I'm actually going to start from scratch and create one new one. So I'm going to start here and go to more options, and I'll get my assignment creation page. What I would call this would be SoftChalk Practice. Okay. Down here, it's really important. Under submission type for Canvas assignments, you have submission, online, on paper, or external tool. The one that would be chosen to integrate SoftChalk, this SoftChalk lesson, would be external tool. And that URL, the LTI that I had copied and pasted, I would come down here and find SoftChalk. As soon as I click into the external URL box, it's going to open up the window. See right there? And then I'll go ahead and Control-V, paste that into the URL box, select. What I would actually do here is also load this tool in a new tab, just so it opens up in a nice big window. It's really up to your own preference of how you want it to be done. I always choose load this tool in a new tab. So 40 points. I don't even need to put anything here, so I'll just put SoftChalk just to put something. Due date, let's make it Wednesday. And then once I update the assignment, now when students come into this assignment to complete SoftChalk Practice, they'll see this. It'll say this tool needs to be loaded in a new browser window, because that's what I selected. And they'll go ahead and click on this window, and the assignment will open up. Eventually, it will open up. And once it opens up, they can go through the entire assignment. There will be a begin assignment button here. This is just for example. And once they do it, they can score points, they can answer true or false questions, they can do quiz poppers within the SoftChalk lesson, and the scores will report back to Canvas and be implemented into the gradebook for that student. So it is a really neat integration that happens. Okay.
And I just want to chime in here on what Tim was following or doing the demonstration for incorporating the LTI. One of the things that we were told, the reasoning is that this link is unique for lessons that are that have assessments in them. So if you are grading this lesson, that this URL is unique to our gradebook system, so that they can talk to each other basically, and so that you have your scores loaded not only in your SoftChalk Cloud account, but also in your Canvas gradebook. One unique thing, and I don't know if anyone has experienced this, but for faculty here, they kind of get a little alarmed when they see this screen when they are test driving their course, and the reason is because that this is the instructor view, obviously. So only instructors or authors of the content will be prompt to this, just for the fact that they can see and change anything in their SoftChalk lesson in the interim if they need to. So again, this is very familiar for folks who have used SoftChalk to edit or update or change their lesson so it behaves in the way that they want the students to take it. So again, you have some tabs that are available, changing the grading method, changing maximum attempts, and then also seeing, you know, what type of things you want to change. So again, this is an instructor view, And so again, don't be alarmed. Students don't have access to this, and they're not able to change any of these settings because they are not the author of that. So just to kind of give you an idea about that. So what we wanted to do in this regard, and Tim, if you wanted to, you actually have your view lesson icon at the top, and then that's what will actually load into the student view. It's at the far right corner, view lesson. Right. And this is just a quick toggle between what an instructor would see, but then if they wanted to actually see what their lesson looks like in SoftChalk, they will actually go ahead and load the lesson there. So just to give you a quick idea on how that integration works, you can see he has his text poppers are working. He has a couple of videos. Awesome. And I don't know if we have any questions, Steve, in the interim, but I just wanted to remind you as well, as we had the rehearsal, we had a transition poll regarding mobile devices, and so we can maybe ask that, and then I can go ahead and also get my desktop share back where I can show the what it looks like on an iPad.
Okay, well, I just launched the question about whether or not students on your campus access content on a mobile device. Are they ready to do that? Are you ready for them to access it that way is another more difficult question. Right. So I'm going to turn the desktop over to you, and while I'm doing that, there are a couple of questions have come up. Let's see. One of them is the cloud necessary to have a graded SoftChalk item uploaded into Canvas and integrated into the Canvas gradebook? Short answer is yes. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Right. Yeah, as I mentioned briefly, that LTI URL, that learning technology interoperability, I believe is the correct coin phrase there. That is the unique key where if you do have an assessment that exists in your SoftChalk lesson, you want to use that in your Canvas because that is coded to talk to your gradebook. In the event that you don't have any assessments embedded or designed or built into your SoftChalk lesson, you can go ahead and just use the permalink or the hyperlink as well.
And in that case, you wouldn't actually need to have the cloud. To that way, but you can. I mean, without the cloud, and if you're not interested in the grading aspects of it, you could just upload a SoftChalk lesson directly into Canvas,
correct,
which would not, have the gradebook interface.
Correct. Yes, and maybe I could go back a little bit after I demonstrate the student view. There are some options in Canvas as well. That you have the option to embed your SoftChalk lesson right into the LMS, or you could have it load into a new tab. What we've found is that the option to load into a new tab is really a good design, just for the fact that students do not lose their place in Canvas. So it's just kind of the last place they were in Canvas, and then again, one of the things that I recommend for faculty is to choose that option for that SoftChalk lesson to open in a new tab, so that they have both places on their computer or desktop, whatever that they're using, just for navigation and so that they don't get confused or lost in where they were in the course. So. And I don't know.
You have not taken over the desktop yet. I don't know
Yes,
whether
and
you
so
know
that's
that.
what I'm looking for right now. Just give me, I wasn't sure if you were able to see that. And I don't see the little cue to say accept.
Well, let me...
Oh, here it is. I found it.
Okay. All right,
Do
good.
you see my desktop?
Yes, we do.
Awesome. Okay, great. All right, so one of the things that we really wanted to talk about is not only wireless but also mobile devices. And one of the exciting things that we learn or are learning here at our institution is how to access the content if you have an iPad or a tablet, even a phone. And so it is here, and this is actually off of my iPad. And it's actually, I'm using Air Server to talk to actually my desktop. And so I actually have a different lesson other than the one that Tim showed. And so I did the exact same steps that he did. And so you can see here my option, I chose to load SoftChalk Cloud in a new window. And if I could just maybe briefly talk about that just so that everyone can see that. Here in the edit mode where you're creating your lesson, you can see there's the external tool and there's the URL. At the very bottom, you can see here, load this tool in a new tab. You can choose to use it or not. Again, it'll look a little different. It'll just actually, the lesson will load right in Canvas. So just a couple of options. And if you want to see that, we can go ahead and look at that later. But I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I'm going to load this SoftChalk again because I am an author or the instructor. I get the same view that any instructor would. But if I were a student, say in Tim's course, obviously I would see the lesson immediately. So I just want to be clear on that because sometimes, you know, we kind of freak out like, oh no, students are accessing, you know, kind of behind the scenes access that we see. So in fact, this is one of the tools that are available, or one of the lessons rather, that are available in the wide range of lessons and repository that exist. And I actually really like this one. I don't know why I gravitate to it. I think it has a lot of the bells and whistles that are available in SoftChalk. And so you can see here, this is a lesson, very familiar for folks. Students, again, on their iPad can pull up images to make them larger. And just kind of, again, scrolling through and going through the lesson. Here, there's also, in this lesson, there are, excuse me, slideshow or flashcards. So you can see the interactivity does exist. So you can see that moving through just some of the activities again. One of the things that I really thought was cool was the media. Again, if you have an external link, you can go ahead and link that out as well. And getting back into the lesson. So you can see it, it's all working really great. And I'm just going to make sure that this iPad is actually on and playing the audio.
I am speaking to you from the cabinet room at 10 Downing Street. This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final...
So you can see that it's all working really great in this lesson, particularly with all of the bells and whistles. So anyway, just wanted to show you that students can access through their mobile devices as well between, well, if they're in their Canvas course, and then obviously getting into their SoftChalk lessons. I don't know. Oh, maybe I can just go back briefly and show you the option that if we uncheck the option of load in a new tab. So I'm going to uncheck that option, unload in a new tab, and I'm going to go ahead and update that assignment again. And you'll see again, I'll get the instructor view, but I'm going to go ahead and view my lesson in Canvas. It takes a little bit of rendering. And we have the lesson back in just our Canvas course without actually loading into a new tab. So I just wanted to kind of cover that a little bit more. And Steve, I didn't see the poll results.
You are absolutely right. For reasons that are a mystery to even me, I failed to share it, so let me do that now.
All right, great.
So you can see that 3/4 of those present are in campuses, universities, colleges where students are accessing content on a mobile device. I guess the question is, how much can they really get to, which is sort of the big issue here with, you know, BYOD, bring your own device questions these days.
Well, I think that's a great question, and I don't mean to put Tim on the spot, but he does handle a lot of the technical, you know, troubleshooting questions that come across, and even maybe Mark might have some insight. What are the, you know, what are the upcoming or issues that have come to our offices about students using mobile technology and, you know, getting into their course through Canvas and all of the external tools that come with it now, and all of that, you know, shared like. And so I know that they see a lot of those questions from students and faculty, you know, and we're trying to, you know, all work together so that things do run smoothly for our online courses.
Mike, do you want to handle this one?
Sorry, was that question directed at me?
I was just kind of curious if you had any additional information on that here, or for us here, or what you might be seeing. Pardon?
In terms of accessing content through mobile devices?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're always working hard to improve the capabilities of the Canvas mobile applications, and there is a version in the works, version 2.0, which should be available during the summertime, which will have some improvements for handling external content that's linked into a Canvas course through an LTI launch, much like what we've demonstrated in today's presentation with the SoftChalk Cloud. So, you know, we know there's you know, opportunities for improvement in this area, and also a lot of demand, you know, from students and faculty for a better streamlined mobile experience. And so we're working hard to make those improvements so that that experience when you launch external content, you know, will be more streamlined in the future.
Let me add something to this, because what Winona demonstrated was how you can use an iPad to create, to look at SoftChalk content within Canvas in a variety of ways, same tab, different tab, you know, same window, different window. But I think what you didn't see is that SoftChalk created content also has, you know, a mobile-ready button. Now, what Winona showed you was really the full rendering of the web page. there's another button. If you're reading using a smartphone, it will re-render it so that it has the dimensions and sort of reformats it so that you do get the content in a smartphone, abbreviated window kind of format. There were a couple of images about what that looked like. I don't know whether you have them available. I don't think I can find them on the fly, but you can get with SoftChalk, them rendered in a smartphone format as well. And that's what Mike referenced, because right now a SoftChalk created content, because it's LTI launch, will not render in their in their app. However, if you use a smartphone browser, it will work just fine. So, and that's the update that Mike's referring to that they're going to do. And that's the comment that Chelsea Brown asked in the Q&A. She says students are frequently limited to what they can view on their mobile devices, especially concerning things like activities. And SoftChalk, in their latest version, moved their learning activities, which are Flash-based, to HTML5 based, so that they are not only mobile-friendly, but reasonably accessible. And speaking of accessibility, we did have one comment that launching in a separate window sometimes causes issues with screen readers for accessibility, which is a different question than we're looking at, but I thought I'd throw that out as those of you who are interested in questions about accessibility. So, you want to take it back? Winona? Winona, Mike, Tim, who's there?
I'm here.
We're seeing Winona's screen, but
Okay, great.
Yeah. Do you want to take it back?
Yes,
Finish
absolutely.
up here?
Yes. So now I move back to just our PowerPoint, and one of the things that we have confidence in is the built-in accessibility tools that exist in Canvas and also SoftChalk. You can see there at the last bullet, that it's already built in. You just have a little bit of work with doing some tagging and maybe fuller descriptions. I know with Canvas, they are really stressing, when you bring in video, getting transcripts easily, I guess, transcripted for your video, and having to edit those things. And so, as far as the opening in a new tab and that having some difficulty for screen readers, I'm not very clear on that. I mean, I haven't experienced that as a user, but I know independently that they weight accessibility very highly and have done everything within the software designed to handle a lot of those things with video, audio, images, things of that sort. So anyway, just wanted to kind of summarize that using these tools meet the best practice for online content delivery. Aside from accessibility, the video, the images, the interactivity, the engagement, we just kind of wanted to summarize that as well. But I don't have any clear answer as far as the option to open in a new tab and have that be I guess, a hindrance for a screen reader.
Well, it is. Apparently, it is an issue, and sort of outside of the realm that we're dealing with. But speaking of accessibility, somebody did comment that asked if you're familiar with ReadSpeaker. Now, ReadSpeaker can help with accessibility because it can read everything on the page, but it also is really great for learning styles. So I just want to throw that out because somebody commented on that in there. And I think I'm interrupting your flow, Winona. You want to
No. This
here?
is fine. Yeah, this is fine. I know we probably have about 2 more minutes, and I just have a few just closing out slides. Again, just to let you know what we've learned in using both SoftChalk and Canvas for this integration. Again, it's a really great tool for faculty who are interested in new technology or are moving their face-to-face classes to online, and that they have some support and resources to make it as much as a face-to-face class can offer. And so again, just some of the things meeting the accessibility, headers, alt tags for images, that all exists. And again, using the LTI URL for Canvas. So again, these are just summary slides of kind of what we covered in the demonstration. And with that, we just wanted to thank you for this opportunity, and again, just want to keep going until we need to end with questions. And I think that was it. We just have a closing slide. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we will have a closing slide as well when I am done, and we have a couple more questions, and then we'll get to the closing slides, which will have everybody's access information on it. So just be aware the session's being recorded, and you'll get an email tomorrow with that information and contact information and a link to this archive that is being recorded. Let's see. There was a question. Oh, that's right. It's back there for a ways. How are students enrolled in the courses? Is there an integration with your student information system? Frankie asks.
Yes. Yes. All of our students are authenticated using a banner system. So they register, and it's all through their student account. And so the admin folks send that over to the Canvas admin folks, and they get all the students into the right courses. So that's something we really haven't had any issues with. We let the higher-ups take care of that, and so far so good. But we have a lot of practice with merging courses and sections and student groups and all that fun stuff that comes with Canvas.
There's a question here that maybe, Mike, you want to address, see if you've had any experience with this. Someone knows if, asked about use of Canvas for teaching MOOC courses, massively open online course. I know that a couple of organizations are using SoftChalk as the content depository for a MOOC. We did a webinar about 2 weeks ago from Blended Learning that that is doing a MOOC that is using SoftChalk Cloud. Mike, do you have any experience with folks trying to use Canvas for a massively open online course?
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. We actually have an initiative called Canvas Network. You can find it at canvas.net, and this is our open directory of, I don't know how many courses are out there now. I think there's about 45 or so. These are MOOC courses that the professors and instructors from Canvas using schools have decided to take to the internet, to open it up beyond just their school. So Canvas is being used as a MOOC platform in that environment, and we're having great results with those courses, and also learning a lot about how we can continue to improve Canvas to continue to support these different modalities of teaching and learning that are occurring in the marketplace. So take a look at that. That's a great example of Canvas being used for the MOOC environments.
I'm trying to see if there's any questions. We've really answered, I think, most of the questions that are there. So I'm going to, somebody just logged on and says this will start at 2 o'clock Central Time. No, it started at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. So I'm going to take somebody, but whoever just logged in, just rest assured that that this was recorded. So you will be able, you'll get an email tomorrow with the link to the archive. But just finishing up, to learn more about Canvas, you can go to their site, instructure.com/try-canvas, and get more information about Canvas. And obviously, you can try it out there as well. There's a bunch of ways to learn more about SoftChalk. A free trial for SoftChalk Cloud. We do some introductory learning environments, webinars, training in terms of demonstrations, as well as videos and courses and lessons. So there's a bunch of ways. And if you want more about us, and I'm sure you can do this with Instructure and Canvas as well, and get sign up for the newsletters and their other media, Facebook and Twitter. So let me just close it up by reminding you that there are ways that you can get hold of us. The presenters, the folks who put this session on today are available. They're giving their email addresses, and that information will be in a follow-up email you will get tomorrow. And if you want more about SoftChalk, you can send me an email, steve@softchalk.com, or more generically, learn more at softchalk.com. If you want to know more about Canvas, you can email Mike directly, mike@instructure.com, or visit their website. We are delighted to have all of you spend so much time with us today, and I'm delighted. And let me just do one last round through. Mike, you have any last comments you'd like to make?
No, Steve. I'm just grateful for the opportunity that we've had to speak, and grateful for the New Mexico State team for presenting today and showing us all the great things that they're doing on their campus. It's a great testament to their abilities and the capabilities of our products collectively. So
right,
thank you. Right.
Yes. Thank you, Mike, and thank you for Instructure's participation in this session. And last thanks to the folks who were presenters today, Winona Udima and Tim Strasser, and of course to Sandy Johnson, who helped develop the presentation, but actually wasn't on today because of her civic duty with jury duty. So thank you all for coming, and I appreciate you spending this time with us today.